All right, so there are a lot of problems in the new culture that has emerged in the speedrunning community. And let me preface this. I'm going to call out some people, and I'm going to be rude and mean and whatever. And I don't hate these people. I just think they're doing a lot of wrong things, and I'm going to be brutally honest about it. I'm not holding anything back. But at the same time, I don't want anyone getting harassed or anything, so don't do that. So, speedrunning is going to crap. What I mean by this, I think the purpose of speedrunning has just been lost. People don't think of speedrunning as it once was. So take a minute, just like maybe pause, think about what the purpose of speedrunning is. Like, what does it mean to you when you speedrun? What do you think? All right. So I'm going to state how I view it, and then how it's kind of come to be viewed, and why that's really, really damaging to the community, and why it's really bad, and how these things have kind of emerged. So I'm going to state it's generally been viewed in the past, not in the past year, like before the past year, and pretty much the whole of speedrunning, that speedrunning is about having fun, and mostly just having self-improvement and having a good time, pushing the game as hard as you can, having fun. Well, maybe not as hard as you can, but as hard as you want to. Just have fun and see yourself improve and feel good about that self-improvement. See yourself improve and just be like, dang, I accomplished that because I put in the hard work and it feels good. It is not. And this is what people now think. I think as a whole, well, not the old runners, obviously, but like some new people that are joining the community that see this stuff on YouTube. They think it's about getting a specific time or like beating world record or getting top 10 or something. That is not at all what it is about. It's not about beating other people. It's not about being better than other people. It's not about just doing good. It's about having fun and improving yourself. And that's really frustrating to see the speedrunning community degrade to this level. And it's really annoying. So it's really we're really losing sight about what it's about. And I think that this can be attributed to the rise of popularity of speedrunning, specifically among YouTube. So let me bring up a thing right here. This is the graph of the interest of speedruns over time, pretty much. You see some spikes, like when someone gets a really notable PB or something. And as a whole, it kind of like stays around this 25, 30 level up until like this point. Kind of beginning of 2020, maybe with like around the pandemic hit. And then it kind of starts to take, it's hard to see in this graph, but it really takes off. It's really noticeable here. And this is kind of why I've been making it recently, because of this huge spike. I see more and more of this every day. And it's really annoying. So I think something we can do actually is if we put in Minecraft speedrun, you'll see a big correlation. A lot of this has come from the Minecraft community. Like I said, around this level, it's about the same, and then 2020 and Minecraft starts taking off, speedrun starts taking off. So that's definitely a factor that we're going to consider when looking at this. So I want to make sure I'm staying on track here. So yeah, what I see as a problem is this normalization of the YouTube culture and YouTube lifestyle, kind of. So what we see here, it's like, it mostly comes down to a lot of higher profile community members and just how they've taken off, just skyrocketed, getting like hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of subscribers. High profile YouTubers with those millions of subscribers doing speedrun stuff. And this has brought loads of uninformed people kind of into the fold of what speedrunning is. And under normal circumstances, this would be a good thing. We love, as a speedrun community, we love seeing growth and getting new people. It's amazing. When someone comes in the Discord and asks genuine questions and wants to run the game, I love that. That is my favorite thing. It is awesome. But because all of these people are coming from these YouTube channels and they don't know much about what they're talking about, And their only introduction to speedrunning has been through this YouTube channels that have grown so dramatically. We get a lot of warped views about what speedrunning is about. So on YouTube, you don't post your grinds. You post your PBs, right? You post highlights. And this is what people see. They don't see the hard work going in. They don't understand that it takes effort to achieve these things. They just see clips like, oh wow, he did this. How amazing. He must be really good. So I just need to be really good, and then I can be good at this game too. That's not how it works at all. Almost anyone can run games at a top level. It just takes just how much work you're willing to put. That's one thing. And it's really frustrating when people come into the Discord and they say like, oh, I'm gonna get world record in like a week. It's brutally honest. They've just been watching YouTube, and it hurts. It hurts because that, like I was saying, the purpose of speedrunning, it's about self-improvement. It's not about just getting a time or beating people. And to see these people with this warped view, it really just it grinds my gears. And I think some main contributors is like Small Ant, what he's ruined. He's brought so many dumb people into the fold of what speedrunning is, because he just posts like, hold on, let's see if we can find Small Ant's YouTube. Do I have it over here? 1 second, let me pull it up. Small Ant, and then switch to this. All right. So like Small Ant, if we look at his videos, they're all super clicky. Like Mario speedrunner speeds 3D World for the first time. Wind Waker, but all the ratings are in them. I said that wrong, but whatever. You see, all this stuff is so clickbait, and it's just highlights and highlights and highlights. And it really gives a warped perspective about what this is. And you don't see the grind that goes in. You know, like I would say his Twitch streams are honestly fine. I kind of enjoy them, honestly, a little bit. Not recently, but I used to. Because you see the hard work going in. But now it's just crap. Like, this video's crap. So yeah, that's something you don't like to see. And then this has trickled down into people that once were like really respected in the speedrun community. And I say they still are, and that's a little bit of a problem because they're perpetuating this YouTube culture. If we look at Cosmic, for example, if we look down here at kind of his older videos, you see it's just some PBs, and he's like really honest. There's no like faces in the thumbnail. There's not, wow, speedrunner does this. And then he started picking up popularity. Like you see these things get, for the most part, like maybe 1,000 views, and it's like relatively popular. But then he kind of hits real popular around here. He's got a world record, 2 million views, and you start seeing space in the thumbnails, and it's all clickbaity. And this is what new community members are seeing. This is their introduction to speedrunning. They don't understand anything except that, wow, look at this YouTube personality. He's so cool, and he does speedruns. And that gives such a warped perspective about what speedrunning is about, and it's really frustrating. So why is this sort of a bad thing? It's diluting what speedrunning is about. It's not about working hard. It's not about having fun. It's about getting times now, because that's all they see. They see good times, and like, ugh. And this YouTube culture, it's not even just a speedrun thing, honestly. Like, I see my little brother, he watches freaking WWE on YouTube, and then he's just playing by himself in the basement, and he's narrating, like, wow, guys, look at this. Like, who are you talking to? It's just a big problem in general. It's a social thing, and it's kind of cringy, and I really don't like it. But anyways, yeah, that really ruins a lot of it for me. And this trickles down. This trickles down as well. We don't just see this with like the top speedrunners. We see this with, like I said, little kids. Like I'm gonna make sure you don't see who this is, because this kid is like really young. But if we just listen, alright. This is like supposed to be a reaction to. It's not. It wasn't even the world record he's reacting to. He thought it was, but it's not. Like, he's reacting to this, and he's just a small kid, and he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he sees all this YouTube content, and he's like, wow, that's so cool, I'll do that too. And you can see his misperception. He doesn't understand what's going on. He just sees fast, and he's like, wow, that's so cool. But no, he doesn't understand. This is a problem. People don't understand the grind. They understand world record, and they understand, wow, so cool, go fast. And like I said, this is trickling down. You don't need, like, people that aren't popular, they still catch on to these trends. Like, look at this guy, Curran Joseph. Like, nothing against Joseph. I think his YouTube's probably actually fine, but it's so clickbaity, and it's just a big trend. Like, if you look at his PB, like, what is that? Why is his face there? Any respectable speedrunner would not put their face in the thumbnail, I believe. If you're honestly looking to work hard and just have speedruns, you don't think about the YouTube. You don't put your face in it. You don't put a poggers in the thumbnail, unless it's, like, obviously satire. Like, what is that? And then this video, that's something right there. We can talk about that on a later date. But yeah, it's just a bad trend. Alright. Let's kind of move a little bit off that. And we can look at some of the problems that arise from this. It's not just that the hard work effort and hard work aspect of speedrunning is getting diluted. Someone that actually does put in a lot of work, and it's really cool to see. I would highly recommend watching Chain Chomp Braden. Chain Chomp Braden streams. He's trying to beat, like, this one level, and he's making it harder and harder, and he's been trying to beat the same level for 4 years. That's really inspiring, honestly. You should go watch that. That is very cool. And that's a good example. That's, like, what you want to see. And he's not even a speedrunner, but he's got the mindset, right? And this is what we'd like to see. And we're not seeing this anymore. Like I said, we see kids coming to the community that just think they're going to get world record. I don't know. It doesn't like that. And then that turns... We have another aspect of YouTube culture that really does not help. I wouldn't say this is, like, a complete YouTube culture thing, but with more popularity and more... There's more drama in speedrunning than ever. Like, and there's less working together within a community. Like, when I was really enjoying speedrunning, like, not saying that I don't now, but when it was, like, my prime hobby, I really enjoyed just talking with people and developing strats, figuring out, like, hey, we can do this, and just communicating and helping each other improve. And we really don't see that as much anymore. Wait, is this video still playing? Oops. But we really don't see that anymore. And it's not like... it's one example. I'm going to use Fade Panic, because from what I've seen from the guy, I do not like him, and he is a prime example of where stuff is going wrong. So, I don't have the DMs to show you right now, and I don't want to, like, show people's DMs, but basically, like, whoa, someone random followed me, cool, alright, what was I saying? Right, Fade and Pidgey, they were trading records back and forth, and it was really cool, it was nice to see, except Fade does not want to work collaboratively. He views others as opponents rather than people he can work with and have fun with. Like, in his DMs with Pidgey, he was trash-talking Pidgey really hard. And it just hurts to see. Like, how can you have that much contempt for someone who's just trying to do the same thing as you and have fun? And it's just the degradation of the speedrunning community. This is a more recent trend, actually. You don't see this kind of thing where it's like people are legitimately mad at each other for beating each other's times now. Or before. You didn't see that. But more recently, we see this all the time. And it's like, people get really mad when they get bopped. Before it's like, haha, I got bopped. But now it's like a freaking war. It's crazy. And then more Fade crap that he did. Like, for example, one of Latcher's Stop's clips on his Twitch channel is Fade just like trash talking him. And that's on Latch's YouTube channel. So, like, Fade has such a big presence because he's a relatively large speedrunner for our community size that he has influence. And all his little minions, his little children that don't know anything about speedrunning, they kind of see Pidgey as an enemy. They see him as a bad person, even though Pidgey's like genuinely a really nice guy. And they want to attack him. And like, same with Latchers. Fade was calling out Latchers, and now one of Latcher's top clips is Fade just being a dick. So yeah, that's really what we don't like to see, and that is growing more and more. And kind of adding on to that, so much drama recently that paints the speedrun community in such a negative light. It's horrible to see. It gives us such a bad rap. Like, okay, the Dream's situation, Dream's cheating scandal. Why? Why does this have to be mainstream like news? Or well, it's not mainstream news, but people know about it on the internet. Like my little brother, he doesn't do anything with speedrunning, but he knew about it. He knew what was going on with Dream because Dream's such a big YouTuber. But here's the thing. Even though Dream cheated, it didn't have to be as big a scandal as it was. It didn't have to blow up, and it didn't have to paint the speedrunning community in such a horrible light. And I think some of the blame from this can actually be placed on the mods. So like Geosquare, he didn't have to make that video. Like, as a mod, when you find cheating, your first reaction is not to make a video detailing why everything was wrong. Your first reaction is to explain it to the person and be like, yo, no, we can't accept this, and reject it. You don't make drama out of it. That's not a thing you do, and that's definitely blame placed on Geosquare there. But at the same time, Dream, I mean, I'm convinced he cheated, but whatever. But you can keep that private. You don't need to make it a big thing. You don't need to, because when people see that, people non-speedrunners, they see this controversy because Dream's such a big figure, and they see this and they're like, wow, that's not something I want to be a part of. That doesn't sound fun. And it hurts the speedrun community so much. And kind of a lower profile thing, the mods in Super Mario Bros., the original from 1985, they're corrupt. It's just straight up not cool. If you look at Lakuki's run, he submitted it, I think 2 or 3 months ago, and they've still yet to verify it. It would have been tied world record at the time, but they just refused to not verify it or reject it. And time has passed, and now Nafitsky has the record. And Lakuki now just never has tied world record on the boards because the mods were being rude. So what happened with Lakuki is, long ago he cheated a Mario Kart DS run, and like he's admitted that like, yeah, that was really stupid and he shouldn't have done that, blah 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 blah. And the mods saw this and they set guidelines for what his next runs, any runs for SMB, supposed to be. He had to have like hand cam, camera showing his console, camera showing screen, no capture card. And Lakuki complied with all of these. And he even submitted a 456, and that got accepted with these rules. But as soon as Lakuki gets tied world record, suddenly the goalposts shift. And it's all different. And you create this huge drama. I'm sure not many people know about it outside the speedrunning community, so it's not as big as a scandal as the Dream thing. But it still hurts the community so much. Because people see this and they're like, why isn't this accepted? This doesn't make any sense. Why is this not? And it doesn't. It really just paints speedrunning horribly as not good people for just shifting goalposts, being corrupt. It's not good. And this isn't a general thing. Like, from what I've seen, most of the mods, or for NSMB series, I don't think I've seen any like corrupt mods or anything. This isn't a general trend in speedrunning. It's not like everyone's corrupt. But when you take these isolated incidents and just blow them up to the portion that they are unnecessarily, it really hurts the community. And like kids, oh my god, speed gaming. They do great things. They try to highlight good community aspects of speedrunning, and it's awesome. What they do is amazing. But when you go on speed gaming, and when you just trash your runs and you act like an idiot and you paint your community horribly, it's so infuriating. Like, are you trying to drive people away? Because I welcome anyone that wants to speedrun genuinely. I think that's a great idea, and you should try to paint your game in a positive light. That's a great thing. But if you drive in like little children idiots, that's obviously bad. And when you're being an idiot and complaining about the run and just being a general nuisance to a massive audience, like you don't see this at GDQ because they try not to get those people in. They have a submission process. When you see these idiots complaining about their game and how everything's horrible, it just paints the community as bad. It's really not good. And so from this, the general opinion of speedrunning as a whole just falls and falls and falls. And we get the more drama we get, the more controversies, the lower public opinion drops of it. And it's seen as more and more degenerate for like little children. When originally, like, OG speedrunners, how many of them are little kids? Almost none. How many of like modern speedrunners are kids? Quite a few. I myself am like technically a kid, but I'm not like 12, so it doesn't carry the same thing. Because us older guys, we kind of understand that like I said, the purpose of speedrunning, hard work and self-improvement, and it's fun. But these newer guys, So yeah, like, okay, so kids at school, speedrunning's popularity has blown up so massively that like normal kids at school who've never done anything with speedrunning, they know what it is. They've heard of it. They've seen things about it. And they view it so negatively. It's like a degenerate thing for them. And anything related to speedrunning, it's like, that's a 11, 12-year-old thing. And it's really not. In its basis, speedrunning is a more mature activity, way more mature than for like 11 or 12-year-olds. Obviously, 11 and 12-year-olds can still run, but it's not children screaming at their console and all that. So yeah, public opinion of speedrunning has just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped, and that's really frustrating to see. And it's more of a common trend. Like before, people knew kind of a speedrunning, they're like, oh, that's a unique hobby, or if they did know about it, it was less popular, obviously, so most people didn't know about it. But public opinion has dropped, like I said. So yeah, I'd say, in general, all of this popularity, it's coming from YouTube. And the people coming from YouTube do not understand what speedrunning is about. And they just destroy the image of speedrunning because of that. And it creates this constant feedback loop of they don't know what they're doing, they do stupid stuff, it makes it look worse. But it's still becoming more popular because YouTube keeps grinding out. And that's generally a good thing, but it brings stupid people in, so that makes it worse and worse and worse and worse. And you get this constant cycle of just idiocy in speedrunning, and it really just damages the image. Really damages the image of speedrunning, and it hurts to see. And it's a hobby I really enjoy, and to see it fall apart in front of me, it hurts, man. So, like, what can we do to save this? Because if we just let it fall apart, that's bad. What we need to do is we need to support like more down-to-earth speedrunners and not, consume this YouTube garbage and clickbaity titles. And obviously it's gonna be hard to do, but like you can't convince all the 12-year-olds in the world to stop watching freaking Smallant and Cheese on YouTube. Like, but if we can support our smaller speedrunners who are generally honest, they understand what speedrunning is about, they have fun, and don't just make YouTube content, then I think the YouTube community as a whole would get a much better rap. Like Tago, go watch him. Go watch freaking CCB's Change on Brain's not even like a speedrunning figure, but watch him regardless. He's good to see. And yeah, just in general, don't support idiots. Support not idiots. Don't just go to popular YouTubers. Oh my god, the glitch made a great video ranting about stupid Mario YouTubers for like little children with the stupid speedrun challenges, or not even speedrun challenges, just like don't touch a brick challenges. They hurt the image too, because that paints the Mario community worse, and they are closely linked, those challenge runner kind of people, they're closely linked with speedrunners, and that they kind of tarnish our reputation from that. So yeah, thanks for listening to this stupid rant about why everything's falling apart. But yeah, see ya.